Every neighborhood has that one house that goes all out for Halloween. This year, that house was mine. My name, Ethan Cole, and I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Maplewood, the kind where everyone smiles politely until the HOA shows up with their clipboards. I just moved in 6 months earlier, new job, new house, and for once, I wanted to do something fun. So when October rolled around, I decided to turn my front yard into a full-blown haunted house experience. Fog machines, gravestones, motion-activated zombies that groaned when you walked by. I even had a giant 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot, the kind that could probably qualify for its own zip code. The neighbors loved it. Kids stopped by to take pictures. Even parents said, "Finally, someone bringing Halloween spirit back." Everyone loved it, except the HOA. The notice. It was October 20th when I found the letter taped to my door. Violation notice, unapproved exterior decorations, immediate removal required. I laughed at first. Unapproved. They were plastic skeletons and foam tombstones, not nuclear weapons. But the letter went on. Decorations must not exceed 4 feet in height or produce sound effects audible beyond the property line. That's right. They were trying to regulate spooky noises. I called the HOA office, thinking it was a mistake. "Hi, this is Ethan Cole from 47 Maple Lane. I just got a notice about my Halloween setup." The woman on the phone sighed, like she'd said this 100 times before. "Yes, Mr. Cole, your display violates the aesthetic standards of the community." Aesthetic standards? "Yes, our board believes your decorations are excessive." I bit my tongue. "So 4-foot limit, huh?" "Correct. Please remove all non-compliant items by October 22nd, or you'll be fined $500 per day." I hung up and stared at my skeleton army. They stared back, silently judging. And that's when the idea hit me. The plan. I wasn't going to take down my decorations. I was going to upgrade them. If the HOA wanted to make it a horror story, fine. I'd give them one. For the next 48 hours, I worked non-stop. I added flashing lights, fog machines, and a full-size animatronic witch that laughed whenever someone walked past. Then I printed out a new sign and planted it in my front yard. "Welcome to HOA, House of Anarchy." The skeletons wore mini-suits and carried clipboards. The gravestones read things like, "Here lies free expression." "Rest in peace, fun." "Killed by HOA rules, 2025. Neighbors were in tears laughing. Cars started slowing down just to take pictures. By October 24th, the video of my yard had 1.3 million views on TikTok. The HOA strikes back. On October 25th, I came home to find 3 board members standing on my lawn. At the front, Richard Mayers, HOA president. He was the kind of guy who probably ironed his socks. "Mr. Cole," he said stiffly, "we need to talk." "Sure," I said. "Want to take a selfie in front of the grave that says RIP Joy?" He didn't laugh. "You've turned this neighborhood into a circus. You're violating multiple regulations, lighting, noise, and public disturbance." "Funny," I said, "because it looks like the whole neighborhood's enjoying it." He pointed toward the crowd across the street, kids, parents, even a local reporter with a camera. "This is unacceptable. Take it all down by tomorrow, or you'll be fined and possibly sued for non-compliance." I smiled. "Okay, see you tomorrow night then." The showdown. October 26th, I turned my house into a live event. I called it the Haunted HOA Experience. I invited everyone, neighbors, friends, even the local news crew. At 7 p.m., the fog rolled in, the lights flickered, and the speakers began playing eerie laughter. Right in the middle of the yard stood a mannequin wearing a suit and tie, holding a tiny HOA rulebook. It was labeled, "The Spirit of Regulation." As the crowd laughed and clapped, someone yelled, "HOA here." Sure enough, Richard and his board showed up again, this time with police. But when the officer stepped forward, he said, "Sir, as long as he's not blocking traffic or violating noise ordinances, he's fine." Richard's face turned as red as a devil mask. The crowd cheered. Someone even shouted, "Trick or treat, Richard." The viral moment. That night, the video blew up online. Guy turns HOA feud into haunted house spectacle. Millions of views. Hundreds of comments like, "This man is my hero." HOA horror level legendary. Can we get this guy a Netflix special? Even a Halloween decor company offered to sponsor my next year's display. The HOA went silent for a week. Then on October 31st, Halloween night, I got another envelope. Inside was a letter from Richard himself. I braced for another fine. But instead, it said, "Dear Mr. Cole, the board has decided to update our decoration policies. Outdoor holiday displays will now be permitted up to 12 feet in height and with reasonable sound effects between 6:10 p.m. Happy Halloween, HOA board." And at the bottom, a small handwritten note. P.S. The witch was my favorite. The ending. That night I sat on my porch, handing out candy with the witch cackling behind me. The kids loved it, the parents laughed, and for the first time, even Richard waved as he walked by. Sometimes you don't fight the system with anger. You fight it with creativity, humor, and a little Halloween magic. So yeah, the HOA tried to ban Halloween. Instead, they became part of it.